cryptic. Alright. Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. This is our Beast Tamer Bard build, episode 137? No way. 100 and... is it this one? 138, I think. I don't think I saved my turn file last time. Turn file. My head is incapable of thinking at the moment. So, my bad. Yeah, this is 138. So, we can still do this. After a coughing fit, the warrior wipes the blood from her lips. Her hand moves lightly, without the artificial stiffness you've observed in the behavior of the other enemies here. But her head has been mutilated in the same way as everyone else's. The top of her skull has been removed, and the thin barbs of the crown she's wearing go right into her exposed brain. Who are you? I am Kara, chieftain of the Blackwater clan. She regards you with proud defiance. There's no trace of the cold indifference in her eyes that you've seen in the other guards. And you, outsider, have assaulted my home and threatened our great mission. You haven't lost your mind like the other occupants of this place. If you don't resist the circlet, it won't smother your mind. It's tough. Tough to feel someone else's will enter your consciousness. Tough to give up the freedom to control your body. Like a cold hand sinking into your head, sifting through your thoughts with its slimy fingers. For a moment, her defiant expression fades, and you catch a glimpse of her disgust and fear. But I readily accepted this fate. I'll gladly endure any torment, as long as it brings us closer to victory. Beating the demons of the whirlwind? What's your mission? Kara's voice rings with zealous fervor. To defeat the demons. We're gathering an army that can march on Iz and exterminate the abyssal spawn. Poor souls like you who wander into our camp become invincible soldiers. Only they are capable of prevailing in this war. No mere mortals, not even the gods themselves, can stop the world wound. And that means we are mortal kind's last chance. We possess great magical weapons. Our bodies no longer know pain, and our hearts know no fear. Our minds are bound by the Master's will and discipline. Cast your blade down at his feet, let him touch you, and you will join us. And you'll join with us as a true savior of Golarion. Why'd you attack me? Hundred Face identified you as a threat to the mission. We are executing his command. Your life is unimportant, as are ours. All that matters is the success of the mission. Tell me about Hundred Face. There is grief in her eyes, but unswerving devotion in her words. The last hope of Sarkoris, great thinker and strategist. When the demons came and our clan was in its death throes, nobody answered our call. The other clans chose to save themselves. Our neighbors turned their backs on us. The gods, even our gods, did not answer because they were afraid. They hid like cowards. And then Hundred Face came. Beware of strangers offering salvation. A stranger from Numeria, who did not know us and owed us nothing. Unlike the others, he was willing to help. He was looking for allies, desperate people who would agree to anything. Okay, that's not a great start. People like us. The Blackwater clan rejected the taboos of our ancestors, cursed the traitor gods, and accepted the mage's help. And now, with his aid, we will defeat any foe and save Sarkoris. Yeah, except I waltzed in here and beat you. I don't think you're gonna take on the armies of the world. What are you and Hundred Face doing here? We've been building an army. Ordinary mortals can't hope to fend the demons off. Our bodies are fragile, our hearts are fickle, ready to betray us at the crucial moment. Nothing of this world could give us the power we needed. The Numerian machines, her voice drops to a whisper, are not of this world. They are capable of so much more than our pathetic blades and meager magic. My tribesmen became the first volunteers in the ranks of Hundred Faces' army, but not the last. Soon we will purge all Sarkoris of the taint, free our brethren from the demon's yoke, and prove that our sacrifice has not been in vain. Sarkoris fell long ago. We're all slaves to a cunning mage, killing in the name of a dead nation. Sarkoris has fallen. But how? That's impossible. Hundred Face would have told us. There must be survivors. There must be some resistance. It couldn't have happened. Everything we've done. No. It can't have been for nothing. I refuse to believe you. Her heart-rending scream is filled with hatred and grief. Sarkoris lives, and so do we. Aw, Odie Bodie. The preparations are almost complete. Soon we will drive the accursed demons back into the abyss. Our poor brethren, suffering under the oppression of the world wound, are waiting for us to come to their rescue. We will come. We will. I don't think that's gonna happen, Odie. I don't think it's gonna happen. Hundred Faces destroyed your clan, turned them all into monsters. Gave ourselves up willingly. We had to. I was the first to let myself be crowned with a circlet. Yes, it was excruciating and horrifying. When the blades dig into the bone, when the probes sink into the brain, when one begins to know true horror. Some surrendered to their fate at the last moment. They tried to resist. They begged for mercy. Her gaze turns gloomy, but we would not allow them to bring shame upon us all. I personally placed circlets upon the head of the doubtful, a heavy, bloody burden that could only be carried by the clan's chieftain. Given the circumstances, that was a highly commendable decision. Admittedly, it did not provide any practical benefit to Sarkoris, but you are not at fault for that. You performed your duty in full. Fuck off, Rachel. The tactical ploy you tried to achieve did nothing, but at least you did something. Fuck you, Rachel. Piece of shit. You all chose to exist as mechanical puppets. Ara bares her teeth in fury. You would judge us. Have you ever seen demons butcher entire villages? Mothers being lashed with whips and forced to run the length of a palisade, their bleeding children impaled atop it. Seen demons cut off a warrior's manhood just to mock him, or slice the breasts off a brave woman. Have you ever watched a giant monster slowly devour a human being, leisurely chewing on them while they're still alive? Admittedly, no. I have. I must put an end to this. The end justifies any means. Scowling in defiance, she is not even yelling at you, but past you, her eyes distant. We can do this. We won't give up. Whatever the cost, we will pay it. Oof. I'm gonna hit him with that good. I grieve for the countless losses that robbed you of your sanity, Ara. Naive fool. It is heroism, not madness, that you see before you. We did the unthinkable, but only because it was necessary. Big disagree. Everything is clear to me now. Is it? How could anything be clear to you? You have only heard our story, not lived it. You don't know our anguish, the pain of our sacrifices. Who do you see before you? A monster? A traitor? So naive. But Hundred Face will soon reveal the truth to you. Then you'll understand me. So here's my problem with the spare. So now we have the choice to finish her off, telling her we're going to set her free, or we have the option of sparing her. And typically in this type of situation, I'm all for sparing someone. By all means, have at it. The only particular issue in this situation is she seems wholly devoted to her cause and is likely to continue capturing people and, you know, implanting crowns into their brains and taking their free will, which I'm not cool with. And even if she doesn't do that, right, it seems very likely that whoever Hundred's Faces is, he will just, like, if she was like, okay, well, I guess I'm done with this, Hundred Faces will just, boom, take her brain, right? Like, so... she became a monster and has given herself over to a monster. I do want to spare her, but I also do feel like that is objectively the wrong choice. Like, this is how anti-killing I am. Even in this situation where I'm like, ethically, morally, I do think it is the probably correct thing to kill her. I'm still like, but I don't wanna. I don't like the killing of the people. The people of the killing. Unfortunato. Okay. I'm gonna spare her and pay for it later. She gives you a crooked smirk, then her eyes begin to glow. The light grows brighter, blinding. Because you are weak, I will not spare you. My warriors will gather your remains and bring them to Hundred Face so he can make you join us. She jumps to her feet in one impossible, unnatural motion as if grabbed by an invisible hand. Her eyes are now ablaze with light. And she just popped. Okay.
We will win this war.
I feel like Hundred Face just like detonated her. That's what that feels like. Feels like Hundred Face just went, nope.
I think I did it.
This machine is like an insatiable but undiscriminating bibliophile, one that greedily absorbs whatever knowledge it can and stores it in its memory.
I can handle it.
Acid fog. Numerian key. Chain shirt +1. Blasting bracers. These bracers are of Numerian technology. You cannot equip them. Well, fuck you, bucko. This is bullshit. I feel targeted. Okay. Let's see what's up here.
I did it.
Brought to life by electricity, this machine clearly has the capacity to think. Its acute senses are gathering information from every corner of the camp. Okay. You're right. This was just a lock, right? The half-assembled magic device looks as incomprehensible as it does absurdly unviable.
Got this one.
Your knowledge allows you to recognize the contours of a new deadly weapon in the deranged diagram, one based on Numerian technology. Welcome, Hundred Face. Enter your personal code to access the commander's arsenal. Okay.
Let's see what we can do.
Okay. So we have the key code back here. And I think this one here. So let's go to this one back here first. Curiouser and Curiouser.
I think I did it.
After pressing the button a couple of times, a message flashes on the screen. Psionic shielding tools. Storeroom 1. Further attempts shield nothing. Okay. Hundred Faces Circlet. Mechanical circlet that turns mortals into obedient servants of the sinister Hundred Face. This device has not yet crowned anyone's head and has not been activated. Stormlord's Resolve. A set of vambraces of Aliosis design, which when worn send a faint crackle of energy across the metal surface, and the smell of salt water and ozone assaults your senses. For some reason, you feel nostalgic for some distant shores, but eventually the feeling fades as the enchantment fully activates. If the wearer of these bracers has the ability to cast spells spontaneously, it grants them the ability to cast the following spells: Jolting Portent, Call Lightning, Lightning Bolt, Chains of Lightning, Call Lightning Storm, Chain Lightning, Storm Bolts. To cast a spell, the wearer still needs to have a spell slot of the required level. It also grants the wearer an electric shield that deals 1d6 plus 11 plus wearer's level electric damage each time an enemy lands a hit against the wearer, as well as electricity resistance 30. The wearer can fully embrace the power of these braces, allowing them to turn their energy attacks into electrical.
We'll make things right.
In lightning, Call Lightning Storm, Chains of Lights, Lightning Bolts, Call Lightning. Ay, ay, ay. Huh. Interesting. Wow. That's really kind of cool. We could, I mean, that could be neat. Obviously, right, like, we don't have electric pen like we do with fire, but Ring of Devastating Will. This ring of protection +3 grants the wearer an ability to avoid magical and unusual attacks with great willpower. If a character makes a successful will saving throw against an attack that normally deals half damage on a successful save, instead they take no damage. A helpless character does not gain this benefit. So someone with a high will save should be utilizing that. Plus 12, 18, 14, 17, 8, 10. Sela. Swap out that. Right, we have that. +2. The +1 right now. Fine with giving him a +2. Even though I don't really plan on using him forever. Crates are full of gleaming components covered in foul-smelling dark wool. The crates numbered with Numerian symbols are arranged with compulsive precision.
Here we go. I can handle it.
After pressing the button a couple of times, a message flashes on this device screen. Psionic Shielding Tools, Storeroom 1. Storeroom 1. We didn't have any further... press. This looks like a storeroom. And in point of fact, we found a lot of random stuff in here, but we did not find psionic shielding.
Beautiful.
Just let's head into this space. See what's going on over here. Welcome, Chief Kara.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm legitimately gonna try to rest here. Can't camp, enemies are nearby. Gotcha. About over here. Cause I'm super fucking low on stuff. Begin resting.
I know you hate demons, but since we're fighting together, perhaps we could...
No, we could not.
Wow. Wow, Regil. Piece of shit. No, we could not. Winter Sun. Arushale looks upset. It seems she has been plagued by dark thoughts since leaving Winter Sun. That was like ages ago. That mortal Marivok. I just can't stop thinking about what happened to him and his whole village. The real tragedy. Yes, it was. Demons break the minds of mortals so easily, no matter how wise or noble those mortals are. A whole village living in a world of illusion for a century. You know, ever since we left, I keep thinking, what if the same thing is happening to me now? What if I just think I've joined the crusade and I'm fighting against the demons? It's just that. What I'm doing here, it all seems so unreal. Wow. Jeez Louise. If the whole crusade is an illusion, then who am I? You? Arushale looks into your eyes, confused. You, well... No, this is odd, but I can't picture you as an illusion. Anyone but you. What if that thought is a delusion too? Oh. Touch the hand, I'm real, I swear it. She shivers, but doesn't jerk her hand back. She squeezes your palm with her hot, dry fingers. I believe you. You must be real. I don't want to imagine a world where that is not so. But... Arushale lets go of your hand. I'll bet Marivok said the same thing to his demoness. I so desperately want to believe you're real, but he wanted to believe too. He also had his doubts, but he chose to wave them away because he wanted to love his demoness. Tell me, how am I any different from him? They all like, hold up, what did you just say? Yeah, that's honestly, that's the difference. He did know, right? Like, he didn't want to believe, but he did know. The difference is he lived inside the illusion and he knew it. I do want to just hit her with the hold on. You just said you want to love me? Fuck it, let's... Oh, no. We can't. Well, no, we already did with Dayren. Right, like... I don't want to... remove our chant... I don't... Just said you want to love me. Arushale's face turns bright red and she looks away. I didn't mean to, well... She inhales and exhales loudly. I do care about you. A lot. That's why I was so scared by the things I saw in Wintersun. It's terrifying to think that love, that such deep feelings could be a delusion. The difference is he lived inside the illusion and he knew it, whereas you live in the real world and you know. Do I? Arushale wrinkles her forehead. I think I do. When you talk about it, everything seems so simple. But when I'm alone again, all the doubts come back. They pile up, more and more of them. By morning, I'm back to not knowing what's real and what's not. Just spend more time with your friends, less time inside your own. You're right. The succubus gives you a shy smile. If I get lost in my thoughts again, you'll help me return to reality, won't you? Yay! Alright, cool. We've got strength damage, dexterity damage. When did that happen? Hey. Okay. Well, let me get rid of that.
I will lend you my aid. Magritium Turinos. Magritium Turinos.
can survive with 1 ability damage for now. That's fine. Okay, let's mosey on over. We know we're gonna want to buff for this though, so we might as well go ahead and get that started. Also, get on the horse.
Lead on.
I'm here all week.
Okay. Turn on this. And we're actually gonna do heroism across the board because I want to make sure I have good hope counters and options to do haste several times.
Rely on me.
He's restless. I wonder why.
Ah, damn it.
The world has suffered enough.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi.
The goddess protects us.
Inimosi travisi.
Zoned out, putting buffs on everyone in existence over here. Yeah, no. Totally fine.
Tell me, and I'll do it.
Please, allow me.
Okay. See how that goes. And on down here.
Here we go.
Can I
Together we
please just do the
stand.
thing?
It's either us or them.
Hey! And that did okay. Do like super okay though. Critical hit. Nice. Badly injured. That's a nice start.
Press the attack.
You're right. Perfect. They literally are just walking. See, that's the that annoys me. Like, I create this ring trying to like prevent. They just walk through me. Is it because he's so small? I feel like they shouldn't be able to do that. Like, I feel like that should not just be an option where they can just be like, okay, well, we'll just walk past your front line.
Desna, guide my hand.
Okay.
Retreat is not an option.
Okay. Wow. Bismuth actually hitting.
Glory without risk.
Ay ay ay. Let's drop a Smilodon down in here.
Begone, fiend!
Rude.
Make your peace.
Kneel before me.
What did I even hit with at the end there? I hit... Ow. Because it was a crit? Yeah, I rolled a natural 20. So I hit purely off of the fact that I had a 5% chance to hit, but I did not confirm the crit. Like, the first attack, we have a plus 26 on Regil. Alright, we rolled a... God damn. To actually get that, we would have had to roll a 15 or better. So that's not great. And that was with that guy having reduced AC. AC on these guys is intense. I know I do not have like the most optimal characters in existence, but oof. I repeat that this just makes me feel like I'm here before I should be, though, necessarily. And that's okay. Not great, but it's okay.
Fall!
I will resist.
This one's fine.
Good to know that Ember's shit still fucking slaps them. There we go.
Into the fray.
Ay, ay, ay. Okay, that's more of the psionic field stuff. Okay, we've got more salamanders hanging out. Great.
I can handle it.
Real looking forward to that. Okay. Let's just be honest here. We already know. Right, like
No reason to pause. Did I mess up
path
again?
to target is how is the path to the target blocked? Charge 'em!
I'm done with you.
There we go. That's what I've been trying to do all frickin' night. Just one tap something at the start of the fight. Critical hit. Boom. My goodness. Okay. That is there's something in the way there? Path to target is blocked. My ass. My absolute ass.
Prepare yourself.
Nice. Oh yeah. Okay. Il right. Still slapped. It's. I mean, with a plus 20. Yeah. That's fair. Although, I say that, but he actually needed a, what is that, a 13 or a 14 hour higher? And he rolled a 15? So. I guess at the end of the day, not horrible, just unlucky.
Desna, guide my hand.
I will bring down the divine wrath.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Swing, swing, swing. Holy fuck.
Press the attack!
Okay. Don't really feel like we need to use any of her spells right now.
Make your peace.
I should have demoralized him.
Eternal
Okay. Ooh, hey, nice. Got all the swings. A speeder plus. Oh, we can sell off all that shit. Components for 100 Faces Circlet. A heap of mysterious mechanical parts used in the creation of mind-controlling circlets.
Can't make the demons wait.
The electricity-driven machines seem designed for blacksmithing and producing items. Ah, we need more of the flame stuff.
I found, something.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was kind of a meh something. This particular instance.
Let's see what we can do.
Ugh! This whole place gives me the heebie-jeebies. No? Athara Vaughn.
I'm glad I was useful to you.
What at first appears to be a patch of rust is revealed upon a closer inspection to be an old blood stain spread across the wide drain. Who the fuck are you? A warrior in a crusader's tabard, or tabard, whatever your preferred pronunciation is, rocks back and forth in a meditative trance. Her mangled head is adorned with the same type of sinister-looking circlet you've seen on the other guards, but she issues no menacing demands for you to surrender to Hundred Faces' mercy. Instead, she quietly whispers, "Amade, bolden my spirit before my death." Hey, are you alive? The warrior starts as if waking up from a deep slumber. She stares at you in surprise. You're not one of Hundred Faces' servants. You don't have one of those accursed circlets. Praise Iomade. I prayed someone would come and help me, please. End my suffering. There's a mixture of pain and relief in her eyes. Damn it. We'll help you, sister. You're not alone anymore. Sister in faith, oh, praise the goddess. I'd abandoned all hope of ever seeing a friendly face again. What is your name? Athara Vons, corporal in the Mendevian army. Our squad was lured to this place. We were on forward patrol when we met a man. He told us that a group of slaves had escaped from the demons and taken shelter in this camp. He said they had many wounded who needed help. Once we entered the camp, we had no way of leaving. For your comrades, what do you think? They have all fallen. When we realized we were trapped, we tried to fight our way to the heart of this compound, but we stumbled upon some magical device that seemed to incinerate minds. We had to stop and take up defensive positions nearby. We were holed up there for 2 days while our wizard tried to find a way past it, but those abominations came and picked us off one by one. They deliberately avoided killing us. They just wounded us enough to cripple us. Then later, the ones they'd taken came back with their heads cracked open. Shudders. They didn't recognize us. They carried out someone else's will, shouted someone else's words, but they were the voices of my friends. I alone was left. They came for me. I couldn't end their lives. Damn coward. I just couldn't bring myself to do it, and they made me into this. That's fucked up. Yeah. What did they do to you? They cut up with my skull and shoved this thing in my head to control me, and then... Those sadists know every flavor of pain. They tore me open and shoved their vile machines in my body, sewed me up just to start tearing at another spot. They sealed my wound shut, poured some potions into my veins to make my insides burn, and all the while I could hear him, that voice, a disgusting voice. Her hysterical scream becomes a desperate, forlorn howl. Through immense force of will, she pulls herself together and starts whispering a prayer to Iomade. Her breathing slows and some semblance of calm reappears on her face. They close in on you. Do not let them take you prisoner. Kill yourself and do it so there's nothing left behind for them to use. She casts a look of pure hatred at the machine nearby. There it is, their altar of torment, thing that maimed me. Now the master of those monsters sends me orders through psionics, and my body keeps trying to obey. These circlets are his reins. I want to enter his lair and kill him, but the closer I got to him, the harder it was for me to fight against his voice ringing in my ears. How'd you manage to resist being possessed? She lets out a pained chuckle. It's not easy. His voice enters your mind, and to defy his commands is torture, but I'm a medium. I'm used to hearing voices in my head. They almost drove me mad as a kid until I learned to quiet them. That's why I joined the Crusaders when I grew up. I prayed to Iomade for help, and she blessed me with the fortitude I needed. It's why I'm fighting. Why I keep fighting that scumbag I'll keep fighting that scumbag for as long as I can. Breaking me bit by bit, but I'll stay strong. Because as soon as I give up, Iomade, please no. Her eyes widen in fear, and a spark of lightning arcs across the spike of her circlets. A tear runs down her cheek. I don't want to lose myself. It's terrifying. Fucking A. The warrior barely manages to fight back a sob. But now you've come. That means I haven't been holding on in vain. There, in that pile of clutter, I hid the relics of our squad carried. I was the last, and the others haven't seen the cache, or they couldn't report it to the enemy. Take them all. Relics blessed by Iomade must never fall in the hands of these monsters. I'll help you. Thank you, but I cannot be saved. I no longer want to live with this abomination in my head, but I cannot get rid of it. It will fry me from the inside if I try to take it off. There's only one way out, to end it all. If the voice in my ears had quieted down for even a second, I would have done it all myself. So help me. Do it all. Quickly. Cleanly. Fuck me. I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. But I will do it. Because in the light of such stalwart resolve, I don't want to hear him in my head any longer. I liked nothing about that. The corpse under the sheet is one of the defenders of this place. Their mechanical parts have been roughly ripped out and flesh discarded like carrion.
What's that there?
Brilliant inspiration. That's a really good one.
Call me again if you need to.
The corpse's mutilated head shows that an attempt was made to place the circlet on the victim's head, but they did not survive the agonizing operation.
This was simple enough.
The anatomical drawing, replete with stomach-turning details, sets out how to crown a victim with the sinister barbed circlet. Flaming lockpick fuel. Very nice. Very nice. Needs more of that. Contraption before you looks truly sinister, like the entrails of some sort of sea creature, a glinting tangle of ebony tubes connected to a capacious vessel. The binding, splattered with blackened blood, must serve to hold hapless victims. You notice a piece of scalp stuck between the teeth of the serrated saw. The shiny and impossibly sharp drill is sickening to look at. like the machine is sleeping, but ready at any moment to awaken and recommence torturing and dissecting living flesh. And the mechanism. It appears that this machine is what performed the heinous and disfiguring procedures on the guards that have turned them into puppets. A separate compartment of the machine holds an orderly stack of the nefarious circlets, their metal spikes gleaming. Examine these. Numerous crystal plates, all no thicker than a hair, cover the inside of each circlet's rim. These plates overlap in an intricate pattern and are connected by a web of grayish metal fibers. Small spheres of a cloudy stone that resemble smoky quartz rest against the temples. It's possible that these are what the mysterious master uses to deliver commands to his slaves. Try to get a sense of how the circlets work. Carefully touching the crystal plates, you analyze the circlet's reactions. Some touches make these circlets vibrate quietly, while others cause tiny storms of lightning to run along the spikes. Even though this contraption was created by adepts of a magic you're completely unfamiliar with, you are nonetheless certain that it is magical. Basing your assumptions on your knowledge of primary arcane principles, you're able to guess the access keys to some of the simplest, least sophisticated functions, and activate the circlet. It seems that this item was crafted through the use of psionic magic. The crown can heighten one's sensitivity to such influences, but it could instead be made to protect the wearer from psionics. With the help of the tools available to you, convert the crown into a protective circlet. First and foremost, you break off the sharp spikes. Then you tear the drill out of the monstrous machine's fastenings. You wield the drill, methodically punching holes into the circlet and hoping that your calculations are correct. By destroying just a few specific parts of this contraption, you can render it completely harmless. At last, your work is complete. You've turned the horrible device into something resembling a helmet that can be worn atop a head, an intact head that hasn't come into contact with the saw. This headgear will keep the wearer safe from even the strongest psionic attacks. Components for 100 Faces Circlet, 100 Faces Circlet. We got the Helm of Psionic Protection. This item was once one of Grimm's circlets, controlling the thoughts of 100 Faces mutilated slaves. It has since been remade into a helmet that shields the wearer from psionic influence.
Thanks, but no thanks.
I'm assuming this is actually like the thing that lets us go into the other rooms.
I think I did.
This machine is used for healing and provides the healer with information about the patient's current condition. Okay, I think that we have made a whole lot of progress tonight, even though we have not completed this dungeon, and that is where we are going. This is a big-ass place. This is a big-ass, tough-ass place. That is where we're going to go ahead and end this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.